Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this one, we're going to cover off 10 proven SBF weight maintenance strategies. So these are maintenance strategies that I've used myself to maintain a loss of about 40 to 50 kilos my entire life. And these are things that I try to instill within my clients within the coaching program. So obviously these are things that need to be learned over time. We slowly change your identity as you start to accumulate all of these new habits and you become a new person. So why should you listen to me if you're new here, if you don't know what this page or this is the first time you're coming across this? This was me. I was 120 kilos when I was 15 years old. I got very, very lean, also very skinny, lost a lot of muscle. And then I've also gotten very lean, more muscular, right? Just a typical guy's transformation in the gym. But I've done this for literally hundreds of clients. So I've been doing this for about 15 years. I like to think that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this kind of stuff. And we follow a systemized, methodical way of losing weight and also learning to, I suppose, maintain your weight loss. Because anyone can lose weight, but if you end up getting the weight back, what's the point, right? You might as well not even just try in the first place. No, I'm kidding. So let's get started. Number one, very simply, find your maintenance. You have to find a really accurate maintenance calories that is suitable to your lifestyle. Now I'm going to talk about lifestyle soon as we go through this. But usually when my clients finish their fat loss phase, we don't do crazy long drawn out reverse diets. We usually increase very close to maintenance pretty much the next day. If a client says to me, Shannon, I'm done. I love the way that I look. I don't want to lose any more fat. I'm getting too lean, which is never a problem. I want to go back to maintenance. Literally overnight, we're pretty much back at maintenance, maybe just a tad below. And then we have what's called a stabilization phase. So within this stabilization phase, if you're just finishing your diet, and this is probably where you're coming from, or at least you're something you're thinking about, you are looking to now maintain your weight long term. You're not a professional bodybuilder. We're not trying to do bulk and cut cycles. You've gotten lean, you've put the hard work in. We just want to look good for the rest of our life and be a healthy, fit person. So once you've increased your initial calories to very close to your maintenance, you basically have a month just to lock that weight in. All right, so stabilize that weight. Then from there, you can play around with your calories a little bit just to see where that threshold is. So there's something that's called metabolic adaptation, and that can change up and down depending on if you're just a really active person and you just start to do more activity the more food you eat, and vice versa. Sometimes people eat less and they just subconsciously do less activity. So once you've gotten very close to your maintenance phase and you've locked that weight in for 4 weeks, we gradually then increase calories by maybe about 50 to 100 calories a week until your weight still holds steady at that number as well. So if your maintenance was predicted to be 1900, but you might still be losing a very small amount of weight each week, let's bump it up by 100 and see how you go for the next 2 weeks. Are you still weight maintenance? Let's bump it up by another 50 to 100, right? And then you can sort of find the upper limit to your threshold in terms of how high can your metabolism go. So really lock in your true maintenance. Obviously, you're still going to need to track this. People get to the end of the fat loss phase and they're like, that's it, I'm done. And they go back to their old ways. You will still need to lock in your weight long-term past your maintenance or past your fat loss phase. Number two, track your protein and portion. So once you've got a really good idea of what your maintenance calories are, you are still going to want to track, but you can probably start easing up on the meticulous tracking, right? I like to use calorie tracking as more as a tool, not a way of life. So you, instead of specifically tracking every gram, every calorie, your meals are pretty consistent. You eat pretty regular meals now. We probably want to just start tracking more just your protein, or we call this like loose tracking, protein and portion sizes, all right? So things you're going to want to aim for, generally speaking, is you want to keep your protein somewhere in the range of that 1.6 to about 2.2, probably no higher than 2 grams to be honest, but the science and literature says 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Pay attention to your portion sizes, the healthy habits, right? Aim for about 2 pieces of fruit per day, which is something you should be doing in your fat loss phase too. Probably aim for about 3-4 servings of vegetables a day. Get a mix of salads and veggies every day. Try to aim for those first, and then learn how to start including treats, lollies, cakes, ice cream, alcohol within moderation. I know moderation is an overused word these days, but you do have to learn how to moderate it, especially if you have a tendency to gain weight very easily, right? And do all of this without blowing out your calories. And this also goes hand in hand with the stabilization phase and finding your new maintenance as well. Number 3, continue to weigh yourself daily. All of my clients weigh themselves daily. I would still recommend that this is something that you should be doing even past your fat loss phase. And I'm going to talk about why soon, but I want you to take away the emotion of it. So instead of looking at it, and for example, when you're in the fat loss phase, you're looking at this like, oh, my weight didn't go down, I put this hard work in, I feel crap, right? What I want you to start looking at, how I want you to start looking at this is just a daily audit, right? And I'm going to talk about the stop losses in a moment, but just use your scale and your waist tape as feedback tools, not judgment, right? Track trends objectively, take away the emotion, so you can course correct early before a little weight gain turns into just a complete landslide. And I know you probably have been there, right? You probably know that feeling. Now, this is where the stop loss comes in. So I want you to have a hard, clear line drawn in the sand where you have a specific weight and or waist measurement that once you hit, you have to go back into fat loss. It is much easier to tighten up and course correct and do a little mini 1 to 2, possibly 3 to 4 week fat loss phase than it is to let it swing out of control 6 months down the line, right? For most people, when you very first start your fat loss phase, you're probably going to lose a good 1, maybe 2 kilos literally in the first week. The way I like to explain this to clients is when you lose that initial weight, that is a little bit of fat, mostly water and glycogen. That is your deposit. This is your fat loss deposit, right? When you finish your diet and you go from low calories back to maintenance calories, you get that deposit back. That 1.5 kilos that was just water and glycogen is going to come back onto the body at the end of your fat loss phase, finding your maintenance, okay? Now, anything past that deposit, if you keep going up in measurements, you could set yourself sometimes up to, I'd say, past that initial weight regain, maybe another 1 to 2% of your body weight, okay? For some people, I like to also use a waist measurement. So if you start creeping up any more than 2 centimeters around your waist, upper waist and lower waist, both men and women, cut it, that's it, call it. And then just a short fat loss phase and get it back under control. Don't let it escalate. Number 5, strategically use low calorie days for big eating events. So if you are planning to have a social event, such as catch up with the girls, catch up with the boys, a wedding, anniversary, whatever it is, if it's like 1 or 2 days of the week where you're probably going to be forced into social eating or drinking, you have to plan ahead just like your finances. If you have a big bill coming up, you have to move your funds around, okay? Unless you're just multi-billionaire, which most of us aren't. So plan ahead for social meals and holidays by reducing calories slightly on less busy days and or quieter days, and potentially on the day itself, which I'll talk about in a moment. So this balances your weekly intake. So for example, let's say your maintenance calories is 2,000 and you're going out for a dinner with the family, friends, mates, whoever, and you're probably going to spend maybe an extra 500 to 700 calories on your meal. So all we do is just either the day that you go out, you can have just a very light day, just in preparation for the fact that you're probably going to have a larger meal at nighttime. And or you can also shift some calories around throughout the week. So for example, on Tuesday, you know it's going to be a really busy day, you're going to be under the pump. You might just have a really light lunch. You might power through with coffee in the morning, it's something I like to do. And then those extra calories that you saved on Tuesday, you can allot to your Saturday meal, right? And it's just being smart and just being about budgeting. What tends to happen is most people will continue to eat their maintenance calories every day. And this is honestly how most people gain weight. Most people aren't just gluttonous pigs. It's not like you go home and you just completely stuff yourself stupidly silly every single day. Most of the time, most people eat very close to maintenance, give or take a little bit every day. And it's like a little straight line. And all of a sudden you have this little social event and it just goes beep, right? And there's your little small surplus for the week. And then no one course corrects. And that little 300 calorie surplus gets put into the fat deposit, right? Then next week, you just had a really stressful day and you just overate on some ice cream that night. And again, just a bit over your maintenance. There's another 200 calorie surplus. And this is how people gain weight over the course of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And then one day you wake up and you're like, how did I get to this point? And that, in my opinion, is how most people get there. So you still have to proactively look at your food, plan ahead if you want to maintain your results, especially if you have weight gain tendencies, like if you tend to gain weight quite easily. Number 6, pre-plan mini fat loss phases. So more specifically for holidays, and if you're going away for set periods of time, big spenders, like for example, if you're going to like, I don't know, Bali, Europe, America, if you're coming to Australia, whatever, if it's a big holiday, right? Before the holiday, what I would usually recommend, and this is for 2 reasons. Number 1, most people like to look a bit better before they go on their holiday. They're probably going to have their top off. They might want to be a bit leaner. So what you can do is a little mini fat loss phase before you go away, which puts you into a better looking position. Aesthetically, you're going to be a little bit leaner. But this also helps with the weight gain. So if you lose 2 kilos before you go, and let's say you gain 2 kilos by the time you come back, you're at net even, right? You're back to baseline. And arguably, you probably had a little bit of a better holiday because you got to enjoy yourself more. You looked a bit better on the holiday itself. And it was only maybe a sacrifice of maybe a couple of weeks of a fat loss phase. And how aggressive you go in that fat loss phase is just personal. You can go rapid fat loss, or you can do like an extended mini 4-week fat loss phase, right? So do little mini blocks just in preparation for these slightly longer holidays, so you can just enjoy it more. Again, this is if you tend to have weight gain tendencies. Number 7, stay mindful of the environment and habits. If you're like me, you probably have things like trigger foods. There's certain foods in the house that I just don't have anymore because if they are in the house, I will eat them. It's just certain things that most people will have, and people have their thing, right? Some people it's chocolate, it's ice cream, it's lollies, it's savory, it's chips, alcohol, whatever it is. You'll have your creature comforts, things that you can eat in moderation without much of a problem. And then you've also got other foods, which are just hot button foods. So with these hot button foods, probably just don't buy them unless you have the full intention of probably eating the entire serving and or packet. And I'll give you another very quick example from me. So I have a hot button food, which is basically things like cookies and barbecue shapes. But then I'll have things like cake. I don't have any interest in cake. It does not faze me. I actively avoid it. I actually don't like cake. I know, call me crazy, right? So things that we do with my daughter, currently she likes to do a bit of baking. She likes desserts and sweets. So we're in the supermarket and we're looking at what to bake. And I said, we can get anything but cookies. So I'm not tempted to eat because I'll just go to the cupboard, pick it, eat it, pick it, eat it, pick it, eat it, right? And then all of a sudden I've blown out 500 calories because that is for me a hot button food. It may not be for you, but you probably have your own. So keep trigger foods out of sight. If they are in the house, out of sight, out of mind. So consistency will beat willpower every day of the week. Environment makes a huge difference. Number 8, throw away old clothes that no longer serve the best version of you. You've just put all this hard work in, you're looking fantastic, you're feeling good, but those jeans just might come in handy just in case, right? I know you're thinking that, I've thought it too. Larger clothes or clothes that no longer currently fit you, they are too big and or baggy, give you an easy out, all right? They're an emergency, they're a backup. When you commit to the plan and you commit to the new body shape and health fitness lifestyle, don't give yourself an out. Get rid of them. Sell them, donate them, give them to your mum, give them to your dad, whoever, I don't care. Just get it out the house. When they're out, basically when they're gone, your standards to commit to maintaining your physique you've worked for elevate, because the second that your clothes start to get tight, that's another indication you have to tighten everything. Get rid of them. I promise you it will save you hours and hours of hard work later in life. Do not go and buy larger clothes. Own it. If you are gaining the weight back slowly, say to yourself, Shannon, it is time to pull the thumb out. I've been a bit lax with my nutrition and training. Time to get back to it, all right? And it's much easier to course correct when it's a short term versus a massive swing. As general, keep protein high. It's common sense. Always try to aim for protein most meals of the day. Helps maintain muscle mass, controls hunger, keeps your body composition steady even when you're eating higher calories as well. 10, build the pillars of movement around your day and stay active all year round, every day. The people who have the best transformations and maintain the transformations live an active, healthy lifestyle long term. So basically what this means is any client who I've trained, and myself included, they found a way to make exercise somewhat enjoyable, right? If I had the choice to be like, I can maintain this physique without training, I wouldn't train, right? But it is healthy for you. We are made to move our bodies. You need to allocate at least 8,000 steps a day for health, right? This is a minimum health standard, right? Train, ideally, I like 3 days a week. Go to the gym, lift weights, get used to a gym, get yourself a gym, commercial gym membership, go to the gym and train, okay? Lift heavy weights, especially as a woman. You are much more prone to things like osteoporosis and bone health issues as you get older and go through menopause, all right? You need to lift heavy weights. So obviously that's relative, of course. Steps and training. You can obviously do cardio if you like it and you enjoy it, especially for heart health. But also look to do things that are enjoyable, that are movement-based. So add fun activities that you enjoy, sports, hikes, anything that keeps you moving and enjoyable and is sustainable. Tennis, badminton, taking the kids for a walk, whatever you enjoy, right? It doesn't bother me. Now we've got a little bonus as well. When things get off track, which sometimes they do, sometimes life gets so hectic and you just fall off the wagon, proverbial wagon, and it happens, right? It is what it is. Get back to the basics. Life gets messy, scales start creeping up, don't panic. Just go back to what worked. When you've gone through that fat loss phase, you have all the data, you know exactly what worked. You have to own it. Track, lift weights, walk, tighten up your habits. The tighter you keep a rein on your day-to-day, the smaller the swings will be, and then the easier it is to course correct when you're checking weekly rather than just pretending that ignorance is bliss. So if you gain 5 kilos over the course of the next 4 to 5 weeks, that's not muscle. I wish it was, but it's not muscle. You are getting fat, and that will show in your measurements and your weight. So these are all the habits that I still do. These are habits that I teach my clients over the long term. It's not something that you will pick up straight away. And these are much more things. These are sort of habits that if you have a tendency to regain the weight fairly easily, the more that you practice these, the more they'll just become automatic daily habits without you having to think about them. So right now you may need to consciously try to, I have to weigh myself every day, or I have to do a weekly measurement just to check my waist and just see where it is. Or it can even be like a bi-monthly measurement, like once every 2 weeks or something like that. But after a while, it'll just be automatic. It's like, I wake up, go to the toilet, just jump on the scale. Oh, we hit 58 today. Let's just rein it back in for a week, right? And then it just comes back down. And how easy is that, right? And you just keep an eye on it. And just be honest with yourself. Just be genuinely honest with yourself. The hard, cold truth is, if you are getting fat again over time, you are eating too much for what your body needs. Your metabolism isn't broken. It is not PCOS. It is not menopausal. It is nothing except for the fact you are just consuming too many calories, right? And the only person who can fix that is you. Now, if you found this helpful, make sure you like and comment, subscribe. If you would like me to do this for you, I am an online weight loss coach. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people lose weight, mostly successfully maintain their weight, following these habits, of course. All the links will be in the description below. Obviously, you can also reach me on Instagram and or my email address, and they'll be in other videos I didn't put on the screen. But Shannon@shannonbillows.fitness.com. And that's all, guys. All right, if you have any more ideas for videos, if you need help with something, let me know, and I will see if I can make it for you and talk to you soon.